everybody, welcome to this week's class. Thank you for joining us today. Take a comfortable seat down on your mat and moving the flesh of the buttocks out to the side, finding your sit bones resting down on the ground. We'll start in a comfortable cross-legged position. If it's not comfortable here, you can take the legs out long in front of you or sit in the best way for you. So taking the hands to rest either in the lap or on the knees. Take a moment to gently close down the eyes and come into your breath. So starting here, just focusing the body onto the breath. Closing the mouth and allowing the breath to flow in and out through the nose. Rolling the shoulders down away from the ears, spine up, straight, imagining somebody's pulling you up through a piece of string out of the crown of your head, drawing the spine long, the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, or up to the sky if you're sitting outside. Feeling the breath moving in through the nostrils and down into the base of the lungs. Feeling the rib cage expand and contract as you breathe in and breathe out. Allowing the mind to soften. As you take these next moments to focus on what your body, what your breath is doing. So today's practice, we will be focusing on the breath. We'll be moving through a series of postures, a series of flows and sequences, following the breath. So every movement linking to the breath. So actually it's not so important what the body is doing, but more how the breath is flowing and linking the movements of the body to the breath and keeping that focus. Always bringing it back to the breath. However chaotic our life becomes, the breath is one thing that's always constant, always there, flowing in and out. Something that we can control and monitor is our breath. So feeling the breath lengthen with each inhale and exhale, softening the mind further, emptying it, freeing it from any thoughts that are building up from the day, from the week. Arriving into the room, this is your space, your time. Taking note of any thoughts that are coming in and just placing them to one side for the moment and acknowledging that you'll come back to those thoughts, those feelings later. So not removing the thoughts entirely, but just acknowledging them, letting them pass over you, and reminding yourself there's no need to process them at this very moment. taking a moment now, if you wish, to set an intention, a sankalpa for your practice. Today, when you find those moments of stillness, coming back to that intention. So it can be anything you wish it to be. It might be that you want to feel grounded, you want to feel peace in this practice. That's entirely your decision, your choice, your sankalpa. Take a moment to put some thought to that now, and then consolidating that as we go through the next series of postures and breath. When you're ready, gently blinking open the eyes. We're going to roll over onto our knees, coming onto all fours. We're going to start just by warming up the spine through our cat-cow series. So starting on all fours, so in our tabletop position, planting through the hands, spreading each finger wide, the wrists sitting underneath the shoulders, the knees sitting underneath the hips. We're going to duck the tailbone. Inhale, raise the head up. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest, gazing to the navel. Inhaling one more, tucking the tailbone, lifting the head up last. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest. Inhaling, softening through the spine, tucking the tailbone, raising the head up. Exhaling, leading from the base of the spine, rounding through the back, tucking the chin towards the chest. Two more. Inhaling, tucking the tailbone, raising the head up. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin to the chest. Last one. Inhaling, tucking the tailbone, raising the head up. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest. Coming back to a tabletop position, we're just going to warm up the wrists here. So keeping the fingers initially facing forwards, just going to rock the body forwards and backwards, just feeling the weight coming over the wrist, doing this a few times. We're then going to turn the fingers to face outwards. So the inner wrists are facing towards each other and the fingers are facing towards the edge of the mat, about the distance of the fingertips are resting on the edge of the mat. Just going to slowly circle the body round over the wrists. You might feel quite tight here. Just moving the body around, releasing the back of the wrist, warming up those joints. And we take quite a lot of weight in our hands when we're doing different postures, so just warming the wrists up here. We're going to, if it's comfortable, if it's not comfortable, stay where you are. If it's comfortable, we're going to turn the wrists, so the fingers are facing towards us. We're just going to slowly ease the body forwards and back. Warming up the wrist in all different directions, just doing what feels right for you here. And finally, if it's comfortable, if not, stay where you are. If it's comfortable, just moving the wrist to turn inwards, and just really small movements here. It's very strong, so just really small movements, warming up the wrists. Taking the hands back round to the front, coming back into our tabletop position. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, coming up into our downward facing dog. So checking in with your alignment here, taking the feet to hip width distance, taking the hands to the width of the shoulders, middle fingers facing forwards, thumbs facing towards each other. Maybe just pedaling out the legs left and right, warming up the backs of the legs, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, grounding through the hands, so spreading each finger wide and finding stillness, sinking the heels down towards the ground, tucking the chin down towards the chest, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, and just breathing here. If you need to come down at any time into our child's pose, you can bend your knees, take the feet back, take the arms down by the side of the body, and rest the head down, the arms coming either side of the legs, coming through our child's pose. This is your resting pose. If you need it at any time throughout the practice, just come down and take rest. staying up in your downward facing dog, we're going to slowly walk the feet towards the hands, coming to rest in our forward fold. So allowing the head to hang heavy, maybe bending the knees slightly, holding onto opposite elbows and just gently moving the body side to side. Allowing the back of the neck to be long. I'm going to slowly release the elbows. We're going to come up, slowly uncurling the spine, vertebra by vertebra, coming up to Tadasana, standing at the front of the mat with the feet together, hands coming out to the side, palms facing forwards. We're just going to slowly start by warming up the wrists a little more, so taking the hands out in front of you, forming a fist, the thumb coming in, and the fingers coming over the top. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, keeping the tailbone tucked. Just going to slowly make some circles with the wrist. So we'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keeping the elbows straight. 3, 2, and 1. Taking the hands onto the shoulders now. We're going to inhale, take the shoulders up, drawing the elbows together and drawing them down. Inhaling, round, exhaling down. Inhaling, drawing the elbows to touch if you can. 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, coming the other way. Really making them nice, big, exaggerated movements. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Taking the hands out wide now. We're going to start just with small circles with the arms, fingertips outstretched. I'm going to slowly make the circles bigger and bigger. Slowly coming to make full arm movements coming from the shoulders. Coming in a forward motion and then coming the other way. Starting big, really opening through the shoulders and then gradually getting smaller and smaller and smaller until just the fingertips are moving. Taking the hands down by the sides now. We're going to stand with our weight into our left foot, coming onto the right toes. We're going to take that right foot out in front of us. We're just going to start by warming up that right foot. You can keep the hands on the hips if it helps with stability here. So keeping the left leg strong, warming up just that right ankle in one direction and then swapping. Same foot, different direction. And then bending that leg at a right angle. We're just going to warm up that knee, moving the foot in circles in one direction and then the other. Keeping your point of focus, keeping your balance, and then taking the whole hip out to the side. Slow movements here. Really working into that hip joint. For 3, 4, and 5. Coming the other way with that hip. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Placing that right foot down next to the left. Coming onto the right foot, left foot facing forwards. I'm going to take some circles with the ankle in one direction and then the other. Slow movements, warming up that ankle joint, bending at the knee, taking some circular movements with that left knee in one direction and then the other. Keeping the hip as stable as possible, just moving from the knee. Drawing the knee right up now, starting to open through the hip. Keeping nice and slow. movements with the hip for 3, 4, and 5, and the other way for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Placing that foot down next to the left. Let's warm the whole body up now with a few of our sun salutations. So starting with the feet together, hands down by the side, rolling the shoulders down away from the ears, drawing the kneecaps up to the thighs, tucking the tailbone under, looking down at the toes, lifting the toes up, placing them back down one at a time, lifting the heels up and placing them back down, keeping a slight gap between the heels so the outer blades of the feet are lining up. We're going to inhale, take the arms up above the head, gazing towards the thumbs, exhaling, folding forwards. Come into our forward fold, head hanging heavy. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground or resting on the shins, looking forward with a flat back. Bending the knees, planting the hands, stepping the right, stepping the left foot back to our plank. Dropping through knees, chest, chin, inhaling. Baby cobra with no weight in the hands, gazing up, shoulders away from the ears. Planting the hands, tucking the toes, sinking back through child's pose and then up into our downward facing dog. Resting down in child's pose if you need to at any stage. Taking the chin down towards the chest, gazing towards the navel for 1, 2, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, spreading through fingertips, 3, 4, and 5. Bending the knees, stepping the left, stepping the right foot forwards. Fingertips on the ground or on the shins, looking forward with a flat back. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up above the head, gazing up towards the thumbs. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. If you feel comfortable going straight into jumping back and coming into chaturanga, feel free to take that variation. Otherwise, we'll just slowly get there all together, taking the slightly modified version first of all. So inhaling, taking the arms up above the head, gazing to the thumbs. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground or on the shins, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the right, step the left, back to plank. Dropping the knees, chest, chin down. Inhaling, coming up into our baby cobra. Legs are strong, zip together. No weight in the hands. Plant the hands. Turn the toes over, pushing up through child's pose if you prefer, or straight up into our downward facing dog. Spreading the fingers, middle fingers facing forward, rolling the shoulders away from the ears for 1, 2, kneecaps up towards the thighs, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, step or jump the feet towards the front of the mat. Fingertips on the ground, looking forwards. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, arms coming up above the head. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. One more of these. Inhaling, arms coming up, gazing to the thumbs. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground or on the shins, looking forward with a flat back. Exhaling, plant the hands, stepping or jumping back to plank. Dropping either knees, chest, chin as before, or bending the elbows and coming through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or baby cobra as before. If you're in upward dog, keeping the thighs lifting off the ground, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, gazing up, tucking the toes, sinking the hips back to our downward facing dog. Slowing the breath down here, making the breath long. For 1, 2, 3, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. 4, drawing the knees up towards the thighs. And 5, bending the knees, looking between the hands, stepping or jumping up to the front of the mat. Fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, arms coming up above the head. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. Okay, coming into our sun salutation B this time. So bending the knees, inhaling, coming up through chair pose. So tucking the tailbone, glazing up towards the thumbs, sinking down into your chair. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Bend the knees, step or jump back to plank. Dropping either knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. This time our left toes turn in 45 degrees, our right foot steps forwards. Inhaling, arms coming up to our warrior one. So checking in with your alignment here, right foot facing forwards, left foot turned in 45 degrees, hips facing the short edge of the mat, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gazing up towards the thumbs. Back leg is straight, right leg is bent. Exhaling, hands coming down outside that front foot, stepping back to plank, dropping through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right toes turn in, left foot steps forward, arms coming up, warrior one on the left. Checking again, left foot facing forwards, right toes turned in 45 degrees, shoulders down away from the ears, gazing up towards the thumbs. Exhaling, hands coming down outside that front foot, stepping back to plank, dropping knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog, slowing the breath down, coming down into child's pose if you need to. Holding here for 1, 2, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, looking forward, bending the knees, stepping or jumping to the top of the mat, fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, bending the knees, arms coming up through chair. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. Second round, inhaling, arms coming up. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground, looking forward, bend the knees. Exhaling, step or jump back to plank. Dropping through knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Turning the left foot in, right foot forward, arms coming up, warrior one. Exhaling, hands coming down outside that front foot, stepping back to plank, dropping through knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right toes turn in, left foot steps forward, arms coming up, warrior one. Exhaling, hands framing that front foot, stepping back to plank, dropping through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Holding here. 5 counts. 1, 2, slowing the breath down. 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, bend the knees, stepping or jumping to the front of the mat. Fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, bend the knees, arms coming up, walk through chair. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. Final round, bend the knees, inhaling, arms coming up. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Exhaling, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Left toes turn in. Right foot steps forward, arms coming up, warrior one. Exhaling, hands outside that front foot, stepping back to to plank, dropping through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Right toes in, left foot forwards. Arms coming up, warrior one. Exhaling, hands coming down outside that front foot, dropping through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Last 5. Hold it strong. 1, 2, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. 3, 4, gazing down towards the navel. And 5, bending the knees, stepping or jumping to the front of the mat, fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, bending the knees, inhaling, arms coming up, gazing towards the thumbs. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. Okay. Hope you're feeling a little bit warm. I'm going to inhale, take the arms up above the head. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, fingertips on the ground, looking forward. We're going to bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank. So we're going to hold here for 1. So pushing the floor away with your hands, minimizing that space between the shoulders. 2, keeping the fingers spread wide. 3, 4, keeping the legs strong. And 5. We're going to take the weight onto our left leg and left hand. If it's too much here, you can come through gate. So bending that left knee and keeping the right foot outstretched, and the right hand can come up. Otherwise, if you're comfortable here, you can take the left foot to the right, both legs are strong, gazing up towards that top hand, even lifting that right leg up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back through center, straight on to the other side. So right foot outstretched, weight into the right hand. Remember to drop through that right knee if that's more comfortable for you, coming through gate. Otherwise, keeping both legs straight out long, maybe lifting that left leg up, keeping the gaze to the top hand for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back down to the center, dropping knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Taking rest if you need to, dropping through into your child's pose. Otherwise, holding here. Letting the breath settle. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to take the right leg up to the sky, coming into a 3-legged dog. We're going to step the right foot forward, and we're going to come up onto that right leg. So, fingertips are on the ground, left leg is shooting back. We're going to take the hands up behind you, splitting the arms into our aeroplane arms. So right leg is strong, left leg is shooting back, gazing just down beyond that top foot. We're going to slowly lift that left leg, drop the hands back down to the mat, raising that left leg up. If you have a block here, you can take a block in front of that right foot. We're going to come through a half moon. Whoop. So keeping your balance,
Coming through that half moon, so taking the right hand down to a block, if it's comfortable there, or resting the right hand down on the ground, keeping that left leg high, and the left arm can raise up to the sky. You can challenge your focus by taking that left hand up to the top, the gaze up to the left hand. If it'll stay. If you're a bit wobbly like me today, keep the gaze down. Okay, let's come back down. Remove the block, drawing both hands back down to the ground, dropping the left foot down to meet the right. Let's see if we're a bit more stable on the other side. Gonna inhale, take the arms up to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhaling, fingertips on the ground, looking forward. Bend the knees, step or jump back to plank, dropping knees to chin or chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Coming onto the other side. So this time, our left leg's gonna come up to the sky. We're gonna step forwards. We're gonna take the right leg up behind us. And then we're gonna take the arms out behind us. Coming through our warrior three with airplane arms. Again, if you have a block, you can place the block in front of that left foot. We're going to open the hips, coming through our half moon. So keeping the left leg straight, right leg out in front of you. You can take that right hand up to the sky. My balance is a bit dodgy here today, so I'm going to keep the gaze down. You can challenge your balance and gaze up towards that top hand. Exhaling, dropping both hands down to the floor, stepping the right leg to meet the left, removing the block out to the side, folding forwards. We're going to inhale, take the hands up to the sky, exhale, hands in front of the chest. Okay, we're going to come into now our twisted leg stretch. So, taking the weight into the left foot, we're going to bend the right foot up. You're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and the right hand to the inside of the right knee. It might be enough to stay here, or if you want to go for the foot, you can take the left hand to the outside of the right foot and the right hand to the inside. Straighten the back, extend the leg, take the right arm up to the sky and take it around behind you, following the hand with your gaze if you can, keeping the standing leg really straight, holding here, breathing here, for 1, 2, 3, if you come out, come straight back in, 4, and if your hands are just on the knee, you can still open that back hand, and 5, coming out the way you went in, dropping the leg back down, coming straight on to the other side, weight into that right foot, bending the left foot, taking the right hand to the outside of the right to the left knee, left hand to the inside of the left knee, and if this is where you're staying, when you come up with the hand, it's just that left arm that comes out behind you. If you want to challenge yourself with the grip, take hold of the outside of the left foot with the right hand, inside with the left, straightening the leg, releasing the foot with the left hand, taking the gaze and the arm out behind you, holding here, keeping the right leg really strong, for 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Coming back round the way you went in, releasing that foot down, giving everything a little bit of a shake. Gosh, it is warm today. Okay, we're going to come now into our eagle pose. So taking the weight into the left foot, we're going to bend the right knee and take the right foot either to the outside of the left foot or wrapping it around the shin, stacking the right knee on top of the left. Arms coming out to the side. Right knee is on top, so right arm is going to sweep underneath the left, clasping the hands together. Drawing the elbows up and away from the body, sinking lower into that standing leg. So imagining here you're an eagle sitting on a perch, waiting for its prey. Holding here. Finding that point of stillness, that point of focus, something that isn't moving. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, releasing. Stretching out the legs, coming onto the other side. Bending that right knee, taking the left foot to the outside of the right or behind the left calf. So the left knee is stacking on top of the right, left arm sweeps under the right, linking the hands, taking the elbows up away from the face and sinking into that standing leg, holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, coming back up, taking the weight again to the right leg. We're going to take our tree pose here, so another balancing pose. So taking the right foot either to the inside of the left ankle, the inside of the left shin, or resting it up on the inside of the left thigh, just avoiding that knee joint if you can, so you're not taking pressure directly against the knee. Taking the hands in towards heart center, holding here, letting the breath come back down. You can take the hands, if you wish, up above the head, or spreading the arms out to the side, even closing down the eyes here as a bit of a challenge of your balance. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. For 3, 4, and 5. Taking that leg back down, coming straight onto the other side. Left foot to the inside of the right ankle, shin or up into the thigh, avoiding that knee joint again. Taking the hands into heart center, coming to where's comfortable for you. Maybe taking the arms up above the head, maybe opening the arms out to the side, like the branches of a tree. Finding that point of focus, that point of stillness. Holding here for 1. Keeping that standing leg really strong, grounding through all 4 corners of the foot will help with your balance. 3, 4, and 5. Taking the hands back down, removing the leg, giving everything a little bit of a shake about. We're going to inhale, take the arms up, exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, fingertips on the ground, looking forward, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank. We're going to slowly lower down for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ending up on our bellies. So we're going to take the hands out behind us, legs zipped up together, forehead resting down on the ground. We're going to inhale as raise our legs and raise our arms into Shalabhasana. Inhaling, everything up, head up, arms up, legs up for 1, 2, bit higher, 3, 4, and 5. Releasing back down, hands coming either side of the shoulders, resting here, maybe taking the hands to the side of the legs, turning the head to the right, just letting everything go. And then taking the head to look to the left, releasing, letting go. I'm going to bend the knees this time, taking hold of the ankles with the legs. Starting with the head down, forehead down on the ground. We're going to inhale, lifting up to our bow. So pushing through the feet into the hands, lifting the head up, gazing just forwards, holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Releasing down, letting go, looking to the right, releasing the hands by the side, looking to the left, releasing that side of the neck. I'm going to come up into our bow once again. We're going to place the feet, the hands onto the ankles. This time we're going to walk the hands so the grip is the other way. So you're holding almost around that big toe with the fingers facing inwards on the foot this time. So we're going to come up as we inhale, lifting up, legs will come out wider this time for 1, 2, opening through the shoulders, 3, 4, and 5, releasing down, taking the gaze to the right, releasing the shoulders, and taking the gaze to the left. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders. This time we're going to push up onto our knees. We're going to come standing up on our knees. So taking the feet, the knees together, the knees slightly apart, feet slightly apart. We're going to take the hands to the base of the spine. So imagining your hands are sitting in your back jeans pockets. We're going to take our camel pose here. So using the hands into the hips as you start to sink the hips forwards. So it's quite deep here into a back bend. So it may be enough to stay here. Otherwise, you can tuck the toes. Start to reach back for the feet, for the ankles. You can even take the head back here. You can come down onto the flat of the feet if that's available to you. Just always sinking the hips forwards. Coming to wherever's comfortable for you. It might be enough to stay with the hands resting on the base of the spine. And then inhaling, taking the hands back to the hips. Sitting back down on the heels. We're going to roll over our knees, coming to lie down now on our backs. So bending the knees, the flat of the back on the ground, feet on the floor. We're going to come up into our half bridge first of all. So planting the feet, fingers resting down towards the heels. We're going to inhale, lift the hips up to the sky, chin tucking down towards the chest. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 5, slowly lowering down vertebra by vertebra, placing the back down on the ground. Either now taking that again or taking the hands this time underneath the shoulders, so turning the fingers to face down towards the feet, coming up into our full wheel if that's available to you. So inhaling, raising the hips, gazing down between the hands, sinking the hips forward, so starting to straighten the legs, holding here for 1, 2, coming down whenever you're ready, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly when you are ready, lowering, tucking the chin down towards the chest and coming down vertebra by vertebra, taking the hands up to the sky, taking the feet up to the sky, sinking the back down into the ground. We'll take that once more, coming into your variation, maybe taking the half bridge again, or coming up into full wheel once again. Inhaling, coming up, gazing down towards the hands, starting to straighten through the legs. Breathing here for 1, 2, coming down slowly if you're ready, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly lowering the chin down towards the chest, coming down vertebra by vertebra, lifting the feet up, lifting the hands up to the sky. We're going to roll the knees in towards the chest, just rolling slightly side to side. We're going to roll a few times up and down on the spine, coming to sit with our feet out in front of us. Coming now into just an easy forward fold, just undoing our back bending with just a gentle forward fold. Legs can be slightly bent, back can be slightly rounded here. Just allowing the hands to hang heavy over the legs. Slowly rolling up through the spine. We're going to come into our Janu Shavasana here. So taking the left leg out straight in front of you, the right foot in towards the left thigh. You can take a belt here if you have one handy. And you can take the belt around that left foot. You're going to inhale, elongate the spine, and then exhale, folding over that left leg, keeping the left knee pulling up towards the thigh. You can take hold of the foot with the hands if you have it, keeping the gaze towards the toes, holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, coming up, taking the right leg out in front of you, taking the left foot in towards the right thigh. Inhaling, straightening through the spine. Exhaling, folding forwards. Again, using the belt if you have it. Keeping the back nice and straight or holding on to the foot for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Moving the belt back to the side. We're going to come down onto our backs. Once again, we're going to take the feet up above the hips, coming into our waterfall pose. So keeping the hands down by your side. If it's very comfortable here and you're comfortable coming up into shoulder stand, you can take the hands, walking the hands down the back, drawing the feet up to the sky, tucking the chin down towards the chest, walking the hands further down the back, pointing through the toes, and slowly taking the feet over the head, coming into Halasana, taking the hands down to the side of the body, keeping the legs straight. And then slowly, using the hands for support, either on the back or on the floor, slowly lowering back down, taking the legs out long in front of you, taking the legs out long in front of you, replanting the hands so that the thumbs are sitting underneath the sit bones. We're going to press through the elbows, inhaling, taking the chest up. So we're coming into a Matsyasana fish pose, taking the gaze to the back of the room, opening the front of the throat, pushing through the elbows, keeping the legs straight. And if you're comfortable here, releasing the hands, taking the hands up above the head, palms together, taking the legs up to the sky, keeping the legs zipped up together, and then releasing the hands, releasing the body back down, bending through the knees, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Coming now to our final couple of postures, so taking our happy baby, taking the hands between the legs, holding onto the outer blades of the feet, drawing the knees down towards the hips, moving slightly if that's comfortable from side to side, otherwise just finding stillness here. Allowing the breath to completely slow down here. Maybe closing down the eyes to come into our last few minutes all together. Drawing the knees back together, taking the right knee in towards the chest with both hands, taking the left leg out long in front of you. You're going to take hold of the right knee with the left hand, taking the right arm out to the side. If you've space, if you've no space, you can bend the elbow, bringing it into a cactus arm. Taking the right knee over the left side of the body, taking the gaze over towards the right, just making sure that right shoulder doesn't lift off the ground. If it does, just ease off slightly with that left leg. Again, maybe keeping the eyes closed here, just unwinding the spine, countering all of those postures with a nice deep twist. Inhaling, coming back to center, squeezing the right knee into the chest, taking the right leg out long in front of you, recalibrating the legs, and squeezing the left knee in towards the chest, taking the left knee with the right hand, left hand out to the side, taking the left knee over the body, taking the gaze over the left hand, keeping sure that left shoulder doesn't creep up off the ground. If it does, just easing off slightly with that knee to re-ground it down. Maybe closing the eyes here. Inhaling, coming back to the center, squeezing the left knee into the chest, taking the left leg out now long in front of you. Taking here any final micro movements that you need to make to get yourself into a comfortable position, coming ready now into our Shavasana. So legs are splaying out long in front of you. Hands are just gently falling out to the sides. Eyes closed if that's comfortable. Allowing the body to completely release here. Letting breathing come back down to a comfortable rhythm.
recognizing any areas of the body that feel like they've worked or like they've woken up. Coming back now to your sankalpa, the intention that you may have set. And reflecting on how you feel, how you've been able to process that intention. Releasing through the ankles, the legs and the hips. Allowing them just to splay out and release down into the mat. Moving through the body, through the torso, the fingertips, the wrists, the upper arms, the shoulders, releasing them down. Moving into the neck, the jaw, the muscles of the face, behind the eyes, the forehead, allowing them to be no tension in those parts. Allowing them just to lie completely soft. And taking a moment now to feel the silence as the benefits of your practice, the time you've given yourself, pervade the body. When you're ready, just slowly starting to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bringing a bit of life back into the body. Keeping the eyes closed, just gently rolling over onto your right side. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then using your hands, protecting your face, gently easing yourself back up into a comfortable seated position. Taking a moment here just to recognize how the body's feeling. And when you're ready, just gently taking the hands in front of the heart center, rubbing the hands together a few times, generating some heat behind, between the hands. Taking the hands over the eyes, feeling the darkness behind the hands, and opening the eyes into the hands, feeling that darkness, and then taking the hands down in front of the chest. Namaste everybody. Thank you for joining us today. As always, any comments, questions, feedback, do let us know. And otherwise, I hope you have a great week.